So we've got some shrimp, we've got squid, and we've got some cod. But first we're going to cook the clams. So the first thing you want to do is to really scrub them well, clean them. If there are any beards, you pull them off, and now we're ready to cook. One thing about clams, you want to make sure that none of them are open or cracked. If they are, you have to get rid of them. So we've got 2 pounds. Put them in a saute pan. And then I add a sprig or 2 of parsley tied with kitchen string right on the top, and some wine. Just enough to coat the bottom of the pan. This is going to help us give the sauce that we're going to make with the clam juice. So you turn it on, you cover it, you wait until those clams open, and that's going to take about 5 minutes or so, and then we're going to drain them and save the juices. So this is a pound of cod, and I'm using cod because, of course, I live in New England, and this is what you can get. So you want to get the fish that's local to you. So we're making this fish stew in the style of Sardinia. We can't really duplicate the flavors because we don't live in Sardinia and we don't have their local seafood. And then with that, we've got some squid. Yes, tiny ones. Look at those little tiny ones. And actually that's good because the smaller they are, the more tender they are. You could use salmon with this. You could use halibut. Just about any good fresh fish will do. So there's the squid, and that was a ½ pound of squid. So now we have to cook these separately because they're going to cook at different times. So we're going to add that. Then we're going to add the squid. That's not going to take long. But the shrimp are going to take the least amount of time, so then we're going to add that. And the clams will already be cooked. So now we're going to check those clams. Well, yes, they are cooked, as you can see. See how they've opened? Now, if any have not opened, you have gotten rid of those. So through cheesecloth, get them into your bowl. So 2 pounds of clams is going to give you about a cup of cooked. And these are really nice beauties. They're nice and soft. You may want to save a couple for garnish. I'll save a couple for garnish. You want about 3 cloves. And soups like this, stews, this is actually called casserole sarda. Casserole sarda. And the name cassola comes from the pot that the soup is cooked in. All right, so there is our garlic. That was a couple cloves. So now we're going to add some olive oil to our pan and get our onions in. Now, if you really wanted to get a hint of Sardinian flavor in that, you could use a Sardinian olive oil. But anyway, so here's an onion. And you can find regional Italian olive oils just by, going to the store, going to an Italian provision store, or even online. So when the onions start to look a little soft, that's when we can add our garlic. So here's our garlic. We're going to add that. Go in. And with that, we're going to add a little heat, some hot red pepper flakes, a piacere, however hot you like it. Lower your heat a little bit. And that's the cod. So here's the cod. And as I say, fish does not take very long to cook. And you don't want to jar it too much, so you don't want to move it around too much. So you put the cover on, and you let that cook, maybe for about 4 minutes. Let's check the cod. So you see it's starting to turn white, and I know that's the right point to add the squid. So there's the squid bodies. They go in. Again, don't mess around with it too much. Just let it sit in there. Put the cover back on. Another 4 minutes. All right, now you can see that the squid has gone from that dark pink color to a light pink color. So now we can add the shrimp. That was a pound of shrimp, medium size. Pound of shrimp. I know, this really is going to be a hefty thing. And then when the shrimp start to turn pink, we add the clams. All right, the shrimp are starting to take on a little pinkish look there, so now we can add those clams. Remember, that was 2 pounds, and look what it cooked down to. Just a few. Now they're cooked. So now we need to add the liquid to this. So for that, we need passata. And passata are pureed tomatoes. So you need about 3 cups of passata. You can either make your own, and I show you how to do this in one of the episodes of Ciao Italia, or you can go to the store and buy passata. So you add that, and oh, let's not forget the clam juice. So we add that because we want to thin down that passata. That's about enough. And now we want sale pepe, so a little bit more pepper, a little bit more salt, plus we're going to correct the seasonings at the end before we eat this. So now once you have this well mixed, what you want to do is bring it to a boil, but look at how nicely all those pieces stayed together because we didn't go around trying to mix everything so vigorously. So you want the fish to stay in chunks. So we're going to bring this to a gentle boil, and then we're going to lower the heat and simmer this for about 5 to 8 minutes. That's it. It's done. Let's make the fregola. All right, so this is the Sardinian part of this recipe, which kind of makes it quasi-authentic, because this is fregola. Fregola. It's a semolina. It's a little tiny pasta made with just water and flour, and the Sardinians roll it into tiny, tiny little balls. It really originated in North Africa. So this is going to be the base for the soup. You could use bread if you want to, but I think the fregola makes a really nice addition. So we've got some garlic in olive oil. That was 1 clove of garlic, and I've got a couple tablespoons of olive oil. And the thing about fregola is we don't want to boil it first. We want to fry it first, just like you would do risotto. So I'm going to put it in, and by frying it, not only the flavors of the oil and the garlic are absorbed by the fregola, and it gives it a really nice toasty kind of taste to the dish. So this is used for many, many things, not only for soup, but it's used to go with fish, with vegetables. So you just want to toast it just a couple minutes until it absorbs that olive oil. And it starts to just give off like a little crackling sound. So we're just going to have to wait a couple seconds. So once you have that, we're going to give this a little parsley, some flat leaf Italian parsley. Sometimes they add saffron to this. Then we want some water, about 4 cups. You want the fregola to absorb all of that. I'm going to wait and see how much more I need to put in. And some lemon juice, lots of lemon juice, about a half a cup. Bring this up to the boil. When it comes to the boil, you lower the heat, cover it, and let it cook until all of the liquid is absorbed. Then we're ready to put the soup together.